Hi, this is Kristy Moore. I've been selling real estate for 12 years. Our team of highly trained professionals, along with our marketing plan, has sold over 700 homes all over the DC market. And this is how we do it. Hi, this is Kristy. And today I want to talk about how do you project your next year's income. It's really important that you have a plan for real estate. Otherwise, you will just flail around, you won't make any money, and you'll most likely quit the business. So it's really important to figure out what your end result is. Because if you don't know what your end result is, it's more than likely you won't hit your goal. So the first thing you need to figure out is, what is your baseline? Your baseline is how much money do you need to make in order to pay your bills. Then you want to add in how much money you need to make to pay your bills and then do some fun stuff. And then you want to add in how much money do you need to make to pay your bills, do some fun stuff, and actually start planning for some of your future goals, such as vacations, retirement, investments, and other things that you want to make money for. So once you figure out what your baseline is, then you want to figure out what your stretch goal is. Your stretch goal is more than just paying your bills. It's also going to allow you to accomplish things that really mean something to you. So for instance, let's say you are planning on getting married this year and you want to pay for your wedding yourself. That's a very motivating and emotional goal. Just think about what it's going to feel like when you pay for that wedding yourself and you don't have to go into debt for it. And what does that look like to you? So let's just say your baseline plus your goal is $100,000 of income you need to make. Then really it's about working backwards from there. Real estate and sales is really all about math. It's about having a plan and working the plan. So when you look at how much money you need to make, then you have to break it down to how much do you make per deal, and then how many deals do you need to close in order to make that certain type of income. So let's just say you make $5,000 per deal. So you would need to sell 20 houses this year. Well, generally real estate is seasonal. So you're going to have to think about it. In certain months you'll sell more houses and other months you won't sell as many houses. So we use a seasonality calculator to help you figure out which months you should be selling more and which months you should be selling less based on the number of deals you need to do for the year. So then once you know how many deals you need to close, then you look back to how many appointments do you need to go on? How many people do you need to meet with in order to sell that many houses? We know that if you meet with 4 people, you'll generally get a sale out of those 4 meetings. Why is it only 1 out of 4? Well, people's plans change. They go with another agent, they get a wild hair and just buy a house at an open house, or they end up not buying at all. So it's really important that you plan for that type of conversion rate. If you're really good, it's probably closer to 50%, but we'd rather plan off a worst case scenario and have things work out better than plan off of a better scenario and have it work out worse. So then if you know that you need to you need to go on 4 appointments in order to sell a house, then you need to look at how many appointments do you need to set, because you do set appointments and people don't show up. So generally speaking, if you're really good on the phone, 50% of the people will show up. If you're not that good on the phone and you're working with buyers or you're setting not qualified appointments, it's going to be more like 33%. If you're excellent on the phone, about 75% of your appointments should show up. So you want to plan on what your skill set is. You do need to set a lot more of appointments when you're new, or when you're not sure what a qualified lead is, or when your skills aren't as mature as maybe somebody that's been in the business for a longer period of time. So then once you know how many appointments you need to set, then you need to look at how many people do you need to talk to set that number of appointments. Every person that you talk to or have a meaningful conversation with could be a potential client. Not everybody is going to be ready right now either. So you need to talk to about 10 to 20 people to set an appointment. Again, this is all based on your skill set. It's based on the timing in the market, and it's also based on the type of lead that you're calling. The lower quality leads, you're going to need to talk to more people than higher quality leads that are ready to go. Once you know how many people you need to talk to, then the last thing you need to figure out is how many calls do you need to make? How many leads do you need to generate? And from what sources? So again, depending on the source, you might need to call a lot more people to reach a certain number of people. Or if it's a hotter source or more motivated source, you might need to call less people to reach certain people. Also, you need to take into consideration that most people need to be contacted 10 times before you're actually going to reach them. So it's important to have a strategy of how to reach them through calls, texts, and emails. You want to do all of those because not everyone responds to each of those types of touches. So once you figure out what your numbers are, then the idea is to actually work the plan. So figure out what you need to do on a daily basis and make sure you do it. And if you miss a day, make sure you make up for it the next day. The one thing you don't want to do is have to play catch up. It is a compounding effect when you're calling people and talking to people on a daily basis. So if you miss a day or a week, it does drastically affect your bottom line. It also affects how many more people you need to talk to on a daily basis. And when you try to play catch up, it really just is a snowball effect. So make sure you stay consistent, keep going, be persistent, and work your plan, and everything will work itself out. Thanks for watching my video. If you have any other questions, feel free to call, text, or email me.